Welcome to What Are You Sporting About podcast, a podcast about business, employment, sports, and entertainment to help educate, support, and guide you to your next level. Here's your host, attorney Sivonnia DeBarros.
Hello. Welcome to What Are You Sporting About podcast. I am your host, Sivonnia DeBarros, the protector of athletes. Listen, if you have not yet subscribed, I want to encourage you, go ahead and subscribe right now so you never miss an episode. I don't want you to miss this goodness that we bring on the What Are You Sporting About podcast. So, as I've mentioned, my name is Sivonnia DeBarros, the protector of athletes, and I'm also an attorney, guys. Listen, I do want to invite you to the second annual NIL Combine live event happening July this year in Chicago. If you have not yet registered, go ahead and register because we have early bird registrations happening right now. That way you can secure your ticket and secure your seat at this very, very low rate. So make sure you go ahead and book your seat right now. And you can do that by going to bit.ly/NIL Combine 2023. Make sure that NIL Combine is in all caps. And if you're watching this live, it is at the bottom of my screen. All right. So go to bit.ly/NIL Combine 2023 to register for the early bird tickets. The second annual NIL Combine event. It is the number one premier event for name, image, and likeness for student athletes in their village, meaning athletic directors, coaches, parents of athletes, and anyone who is protecting and advocating for athletes. You don't want to miss this. So today, the subject for this episode is what will history tell? What will history tell? I don't think a lot of people think about what actions they take or actions that they make and how it will ricochet for years to come as history, right? We are all making a footprint in this world around the decisions that we make, the actions that we take, and history will show us whether those actions and those statements, whatever we've done, if they were the right moves to make. So I wanted to share, or I'm going to share a little bit of information that I learned. I had the ability to learn twice from Dr. Matthew Knowles. If you don't know who that is, he is the father of Beyonce and Solange Knowles. And it's just always been amazing to hear him talk about his path and to also talk about his history. Now, if you don't know me personally, I am an individual who I geek up about older people, especially like grandparent level type people, because for them to get to the age that they're at, they've had to overcome some things. They've had to learn about their own history, and especially those who have been extremely successful at a later age in life, they have so much value and knowledge to provide to you, because here's the thing, they're not just looking at where their family history started from, but they're gathering information from the entire world. They're gathering information from other individuals who are around them, different industries that they're in. And it's just a combination of wisdom and intellect and history, historical facts, right? That helps these individuals to be wildly successful even at a later age in life. So listen, so I had the opportunity to learn from Mr. Matthew Knowles twice. How ironic, twice. And one of the things that really stuck out to me is that his grandchildren will be and are third generation millionaires. I mean, that is huge. That is huge. And listen, we're still in Black History Month, right? We're still in the deep of Black History Month. For Black individuals to have generations of individuals who are multimillionaires, that's huge for us. That's huge for us. You know, there's a stat that says around 70% of individuals have no idea what they're not even planning for the rest or the end of their life. They're not even planning for their legacy. So when I do meet someone and I hear someone, I listen to someone give their account of their historical past, but also how it's provided a flashlight to what their future could be, but not just their future, but the future of their grands and great grands. It is absolutely amazing to me. So, the question I have for you during this episode is, what will history tell? What will history tell? What will it tell about your story? What will it tell about the decisions that you've made? What will it tell about your grit and your ability to really rise up and stand up for what you believe in? What will it tell? Now, some of the things that I've learned from Dr. Matthew Knowles is he came from a family of entrepreneurs. He came from a family where his father had his own lumber company. And his mom, although his mom, I think it was either his grandmother or his mom was cleaning up houses for white people, she would then still ask for all the hand-down clothes that the white women would be giving away. They would just give it to her and she would remake those clothes. She was already being a creative and she was already an entrepreneur. And she would go and she would sell those remade items out of the old clothes that she received from the white women to generate income. All right. I mean, it's absolutely amazing because here's how I see it. A lot of times it's not about the positions that we're in because there's still an opportunity there. A lot of people get hung up on, well, I can't do this thing because I only have this kind of job, or I only have this particular issue, or this particular, subset of opportunity. It doesn't afford me to go and get something bigger that other people will probably have the opportunity to receive. Change the lens, right? We have to change the focus of how we are viewing things. When I think about the trajectory and the history of Dr. Knowles' family, they were technically, as society would probably have labeled them, they were probably in a position of, or labeled as individuals who would not be successful. But yet and still, they defied the odds. They found a way out of no way. When other people may have saw them as less than, they still defied the odds and they moved forward to creating a better future, not just for themselves, but for their children and for their grandchildren. Then Mr. Knowles and his wife, ex-wife, Miss Tina Knowles, she, was just a fanatic for hair, for really styling hair, but then made the conscious decision to create a specific niche around professional working women who had particular times of getting their hair done and made sure that they develop a business to support them. So when you came in, that was the time you were going to get served. And they made sure that they didn't allow the women to leave without selling them additional products, which is really how the back end of their money was made. Oh my gosh, y'all. So Mr. Knowles already had a background in the medical industry, and he used that background to help Tina Knowles launch a very successful hair salon. From that hair salon, they ended up launching the Darion brand. Now, if you guys don't remember Darion, that was super huge, and she was making all of the entertainment outfits for Beyonce and Destiny's Child. I mean, it was a huge, huge brand. Long story short, the Darion brand, I think, pivoted several times before they ended up selling it. Even outside of that, Dr. Knowles owns or did own a record label that he sold, purchased back, and resold again for multi-millions of dollars. So sometimes people look at their history or their family's past and they already write themselves off. If you write yourself off, you're already doing it for the next person. They don't have to, because you're doing it for yourself. But what you need to do is think about, how can I refocus what I believe to be true? How can I refocus it into something different to expand the opportunity that may be afforded to me? How can I flip this around where I can maximize the space and the time that I am in to make sure that it provides ample opportunity for me right now, but also opportunity for the future, for those who I love, and for the children that I'm going to have, and for my great grandchildren. Every individual that Dr. Knowles talked about saw an opportunity, even in a marketplace and in a time where it was not built and it was not for them. But they still carved out their own individual lanes, and you can do the same. And so it takes me back to this question: what will history tell? Will it tell a story of you just sitting idly by watching everybody else collect their coins? Would it tell a story of you being too timid to show up for yourself? Or will it tell a story of grit? Will it tell a story of determination? Will it tell a story of someone who was able to refocus, repivot, and reperspect what they believe the future to hold for them? For me, guys, I am my own Black history. I am my own Black history. I came from a family of no lawyers. I came from a family of some entrepreneurs on one side, but on the other side, just hard workers. Hard workers. That is my history. However, if I would have saw it from the stance of, well, there's no one else in my family who's a lawyer, who's ever gone to law school, who's ever owned a law practice, would I have the ability to do that? I decided to defy the odds. I became the first. I decided that regardless of the lack of representation in this space, I still have the opportunity to make it a reality for myself and for those that I love, and for my future children. And now I have a child, and for my future children's children. And so history for me will tell a story of determination. It will also tell a story of being afraid to go after some things, but also still moving in spite of that fear. My history will tell a story of putting myself in a position to protect those that not only I admire, but protecting those who don't even recognize their own worth yet. Hence the word yet. And so I really want you to think about, what will history tell? And when you think about history, looking back years forward into the future, when you're looking back on yourself, what decisions have you made? What decisions will you make right now that will look and shine favorably upon you years from now? What will that be? And so you don't have to look far, guys. You don't have to look far to make an impact in your life and those who are around you. You can look right at yourself. Look right at the situation that you're in. It doesn't have to be a perfect or glamorous opportunity. Your job doesn't have to be glamorous, but what are you doing inside of the job that you currently have? How are you making history? How are you making an impact right now where you are? That's it. That's all you have to do. Make sure that every step counts. Every action counts, because history will tell a story whether you like it or not. All right? So join me for the second annual NIL Combine event here in Chicago, July 27th through the 29th. I'm super excited because it is the #1 event for name, image, and likeness. And we're going to be supporting athletes everywhere to understand what their name, image, and likeness truly is, how to truly embrace it, monetize, leverage, and protect it, but also to do the same thing that I've been talking about here today, to set a footprint and to make sure that history tells a story that you can be proud of. So join me at bit.ly/NIL Combine 2023. Get your tickets right now during this early bird session, so your fee does not change. You can go ahead and get that right now at bit.ly/NIL Combine 2023. bit.ly/NIL Combine 2023. I will see you guys in July. And until next time, it is always my pleasure to educate, support, and motivate you to your next level. Make sure you subscribe to the What Are You Sporting About podcast so you never, ever miss an episode. I'm Sivonnia DeBarros. Until next time, I will check you guys later. Ciao.
Joining us this week on What Are You Sporting About podcast. Make sure to visit our website, prosportlawyer.com, where you can subscribe to the show in iTunes, Stitcher, or whatever your favorite platform is, so you'll never miss a show. And while you're at it, if you found value in the show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes or iHeartRadio. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. If you like the show, you might want to check out our book, What Are You Sporting About? Attorney Sivonnia DeBarros is available for private consulting at sldebarros.com. And remember, we're here to educate, support, and guide you in your journey to success, because we're all sporting about something.